The Trilateral Commission, TC. In my view, the Trilateral Commission represents a skillful, coordinated effort to seize control and consolidate the four centers of power: political, monetary, intellectual and ecclesiastical. All this is to be done in the interest of creating a more peaceful, more productive world community. What the trilateralists truly intend is the creation of a worldwide economic power superior to the political governments of the nation-states involved. They believe the abundant materialism they propose to create will overwhelm existing differences. As managers and creators of the system, they will rule the future. This is a quote by Senator Barry Goldwater, 1979. This was the brainchild of David Rockefeller, who was also involved with the Council on Foreign Relations and the Bilderberg Group. He formed the TC in 1973 with Henry Kissinger and Zbigniew Brzezinski, a former national security advisor. In 1970 he wrote that a new and broader approach is needed: creation of a community of the developed nations which can effectively address itself to the larger concerns confronting mankind, a council representing the US, Western Europe and Japan, with regular meetings of the heads of governments. Later that year he foresaw society that is shaped culturally, psychologically, socially and economically by the impact of technology and electronics, particularly in the area of computers and communication. The illegal we do immediately, the unconstitutional takes a little longer. This is a quote by Henry Kissinger in a WikiLeaks cable. The TC has member numbers of around 300 to 350 in Europe, Asia and North America, and its aim is to form close cooperation between these regions. Former Senator Barry Goldwater said of the TC that it is intended to be the vehicle for multinational consolidation of the commercial and banking interests by seizing control of the political government of the United States. Interesting words from a person that was anti-CFR and anti-David Rockefeller. The group meets annually on one of the continents and the members aren't allowed to say anything about the meetings. Members include Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, Dick Cheney and Dianne Feinstein. To give an example of the power of this organization, 7 months before the 1976 Democratic National Convention, a Gallup poll found that less than 4% of Democrats supported Jimmy Carter for president. Then the TC took him under their wing. They mobilized the power and money of Wall Street bankers, academics and the controllers of the media who were members of the CFR and the TC to try and get the governor of Georgia nominated. Amazingly, almost overnight and totally out of the blue, Carter was nominated and later became president. Jim Marrs, in his book Rule by Secrecy, writes that a report in 1978 showed that the TC Commission funding from 1976 to 1979 was $1,180,000, which came from tax-exempt foundations such as the Rockefeller Brothers Fund. Other donations came from the Ford Foundation, the Lilly Endowment, the German Marshall Fund, Time, Bechtel, Exxon, General Motors, Wells Fargo and Texas Instruments. Many of the original members of the Trilateral Commission are now in positions of power where they are able to implement policy recommendations of the Commission, recommendations that they, themselves, prepared on behalf of the Commission. It is for this reason that the Commission has acquired a reputation for being the shadow government of the West. This is a quote by journalist Robert Ehringer. Researcher Laurie K. Strand wrote that the Trilateral Commission's tentacles have reached so far afield in the political and economic sphere that it has been described by some as a cabal of powerful men out to control the world by creating a super-national community dominated by the multinational corporations. If the CFR can be said to be a spawning ground for the concepts of one world idealism, the TC is the task force assembled to assault the beachheads. Already the Commission has placed its members in the top posts the U.S. has to offer. This is a quote by authors Sutton and Wood in 1979.